So I don't know if you've seen this. It's a former Mossad agent, Viktor Ostrovsky. He's going to explain how Israel controls American diplomats, politicians, writers, and journalists. They get them labeled as anti-Semitic. I know that sounds simplistic, but
sounds like what happens.
But spoiler alert, it's the same way the CIA and the corporate media do it, but this is with anti-Semitism instead of whatever phobia seems to be trending on Twitter.
Right.
So
it's a good trick. They all do it.
By the way, this guy is an author and intelligence officer who was a case officer in the Israeli Mossad for 14 months before his dismissal.
Wow.
After leaving the Mossad, he authored 2 books about his service with the Mossad, By Way of Deception, which was a #1 New York Times bestseller in 1990, and The Other Side of Deception several years later, and this is from 1995. So get this.
Now, I know what they do because I used to ask them to do it. I mean, when I was in the Mossad, and we had a guy that gave us problems in the U.S., and he was speaking out, and he was talking like Pete talked once and said, Israel is bombing Lebanon with cluster bombs. We say, hey, who's that guy? You know, Pete Makaki, we used to call him. Yeah. Which is Pete the Cockroach. Because he makes a lot of noise and you can't get rid of him. So what you do is you get in touch with a guy in the station in New York or in the station in Washington. You say, tell the guys at B'nai B'rith to label him. And of course the campaign starts, and before you know it, the guy's labeled. And he's an anti-Semite. Because that's what we say he is. And that's one stain you cannot wash. Now, it shames me as a Jew to tell you that, but that's the fact, and it's wrong.
So does this guy have to buy an extra seat when he flies just for his balls? Because that is, this guy has more guts than a street vendor sausage. Okay?
I mean, they killed Epstein, and he did what they wanted.
So I can't think of anything riskier than being an ex-Mossad officer walking around with everything he knows and telling people about it. It's almost like being former CIA. Wait, what am I saying? Mossad is the CIA. They put the dual back in dual citizenship. You know that.
Well, you know...
of course, there's going to be some stupid asshole on social media, Kurt, who's going to say that this agent has no idea what is going on inside the Mossad, but some fucking influencer on Twitter does. Okay? But not this guy.
Well, we know what's going on because everybody does the same. Here's why I tell you, October 7th ended wokeness because that tactic he described, if you'll recall, is the tactic that has been used by woke. I hate saying woke, but I didn't make it up. The tactic is you're a phobic, you hate women.
That's right.
I was called a rape apologist, which I don't even know what the fuck that is. I'm not.
Yeah.
But that's because some psychopath goes, if you're not on our side, that means you must love the enemy.
That's right.
So everybody made use of the Mossad, and now the Mossad's using those techniques on these people that were using their techniques.
It's like when Cornel West came on here and called me a Trumper. Like
he's anti-Semitic.
So if I'm not on Joe Biden's side, I'm also on Matt. According to Cornel West and his ivory tower, Harvard-educated fucking idiot brain, and I'm somehow a Trumper because he can't figure out that kind of nuance.
As an anti-Semite, it's hard for him because that's what he's going to be called. That the ADL, which I've known about for years, has pushed every proto-woke PC bullshit thing for years, and they do it just to be ingratiated.
And that's exactly what that was. That's exactly what that was.
But now they turned against it.
When Cornel West did that, I'm gonna tell you, if Cornel West's brain was any more fucked up, Johnny Depp would start dating it. Hey, come see us do a live stand-up show. We're going to be in Stockholm, Amsterdam, Rotterdam, London, Oslo, Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, Cortland, New York, Oakmont, Pennsylvania, El Paso, Texas, San Antonio, Texas, Edmonton, Alberta, Vancouver, British Columbia, and Denver, Colorado. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for those tickets.